Hey everybody, good to see you here. Well, on my last video, little Georgie was born. He got hatched. So he kind of shot across the room and bounced all over the place, and it was kind of a mess. Um, now, Georgie did okay at home. He only had a couple small incidents before he was a toddler. Uh, One was a cat laid on his face and tried to smother him up. Georgie's dad didn't take too kindly to that. He tossed him out the yard and never let him come back. Now, Georgie loves cats today, and so I don't think that influenced him any. One of the other things that we're dealing with here is that Georgie grows up. And he has to go through potty training, and he does pretty good at that. But he got a real distaste for wearing a diaper. Now, a lot of little kids do this, but he really hated it. So he learned how to potty pretty quick. That was pretty fun. You know, that Yahoo when you get that first one in the pot. You know. Then we got a little later, he didn't like nap time. Georgie was an energetic little crap, and he just run all over the place, and mom wanted him to go lay it down and get a nap. Now, all you moms out there really know that it's important for a child to get a nap because they get cranky if they don't. Well, Georgie never really got cranky, but his mom wanted some time to do some other things besides watch Georgie run around. So she'd put a diaper on him to make sure he didn't run out the house. Well, Georgie learned a solution to that. He'd go to lay down and nap, pretend like he was asleep. He'd take off his diaper and climb out the window, naked. Now, this wasn't a big deal till he got caught in the neighbor's yard playing with the neighbor's daughter when they were only 3. But, it's an uncomfortable situation to go out and find a naked little boy playing with your little girl. Now she still had all her clothes on, but it's still not a comfortable thing. So Georgie got in trouble for that a little bit. Now, that's not such a big deal. So Georgie grows and grows, and he gets on towards elementary school. He didn't get much more trouble as a toddler. He did the typical stuff, coloring with mom's lipstick and things like that, but nothing too serious. Well, about time when he was about 5 or 6, his neighbor, who was a nice pastor man, brought home a new car. Now, this was one of the very first cars with safety glass. And the little neighbor girl, she told Georgie, hey, that's safety glass. You can't break it. So Georgie, being a smart young man, wants to put that theory to the test. He takes a rock and pitches it. It breaks the window. The little girl next door says, well, that's not supposed to happen. What's wrong? Georgie says, I don't know. Let's try a different window. Whack. So he goes around the car testing all the windows to see how unbreakable they are. Well, it was a bad, bad day. That was the first real whipping that Georgie ever got. And he got his butt tanned good for breaking all those windows. Now, he didn't think that was fair because, well, his scientific mind was at work. That's a lot like scientists today sometimes. They go around making a mess and figuring out things that are written in stone, and sometimes they're just not. It's just not exactly the way you see it because you aren't looking at the whole picture. Anyway, we get on past Georgie's trials and tribulations at that point, and he gets to his very first day at school. And of course, Georgie, being a tiny little creep, he gets his butt beat the first day by a bully. Comes home crying to Mama, 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 I got my butt beat. What do I do? And so Georgie's mom kind of set up a situation where Georgie wasn't going to allow that to happen anymore. She told him, you have to defend yourself, stick up for what's right, and if somebody tries to beat you up, you stop them. Well, the next day, same little bully come running up on Georgie. Georgie tackles him to the ground, sits on his chest, grabs him by the ears, and starts beating his head against the concrete. Well, that poor little guy was never the same, but Georgie didn't kill him. Anyway, that kind of set the tone for Georgie's life and how he treats bullies. And we'll get more of that in the next treat. I'm so glad to see you on here. Don't forget to give me a like and a subscribe and send me down to your buddies and a share. Oh, and go back, take a look. You know, if you have trouble with the police, I want you to go back and see what Grandpa has to say in his rap about that. You're going to get a kick out of that where it says Grandpa's rap. Uh, that'll help you avoid trouble with the police. You'd be surprised. Now, y'all take care. God bless, and I'll talk to you next time.